What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you the top 10 things I've noticed since starting an animal-based diet. First things first, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already and give this video a big thumbs up. Okay, a couple notes that I want to hit on first. So first of all, if you've seen my original carnivore video, which is I think maybe like a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, something like that, I apologize. I have not posted much content since then, specifically on the carnivore diet, but I have a lot of videos coming up about that and I will be way more consistent, so stay tuned. A little update, I'm not really calling it the carnivore diet anymore, I'm just calling it an animal-based diet, and the reasoning for that is because before I was very, very strict where I was literally just doing meat and eggs. Now I have included dairy, fruit, honey. So the only 5 things I'm eating is dairy, fruit, honey, meat, and eggs. So it's still pretty strict. It's just those 5 things, but I have incorporated that into my diet the last like 4 or 5 weeks, and I've been feeling way better with that addition. Just a quick note, if you are completely new to the animal-based diet and you're like, what exactly does that mean? Pretty much you're eating things that come from an animal plus fruit. That's pretty much it. So no vegetables, no nuts, no seeds, no grains. Yes, no vegetables. That's what I said. So you're just basically having anything that comes from an animal. It's meat, organs, dairy, and then you can have fruit and honey as well. And that's pretty much what the entire diet looks like. All right, so that's a little update for you guys. Now let's get into the top 10 things I have noticed since starting the diet. Honestly, when I wrote this list, I was shocked at how quickly it was to list 10 things. There are so many things that I've noticed, but these were the first 10 that came to my head. Okay, number 1, I want to talk about this one first, and I know it might not seem like a big deal to a lot of people, but it's actually a huge deal to me, and I don't know why, I just find it so mind-blowing. Number 1 is no more dandruff. And when I say like I have had terrible dandruff my whole life, like it's as long as I can remember, I just every single day constantly itching my scalp, like itching it so much, like flakes everywhere. I was always super insecure about it, and I could never figure out why. I thought it was just like something I was born with or something. I don't know. I didn't know it was like related to my diet, but I noticed that within literally a week of the carnivore diet, my dandruff just went away. I'm never itching my head. I never have any flakes. I never have a dry scalp. It's crazy. It's crazy, but it makes sense. It makes sense that it was directly related to the food, because really it's just like fungus, and a lot of like that stuff that has to do with like an itchy scalp, itchy skin, acne, any of that is most likely related to food. So it does make sense, but yeah, that is the first thing that I noticed that I thought was really cool. Number 2, which is the most obvious one and the one that you notice right away, is no bloating and no inflammation. Within my first 7 days of carnivore, I was down like 6 or 7 pounds, and it wasn't even just about that though. Like I was like a balloon before, and I literally felt like I just deflated like right away. My body responded so quickly. I am never bloated now, and I think bloating is something that is very normalized, but it is not normal. It is not normal to be bloated like 24/7, to be bloated every time after you eat. Not normal at all. So that's a huge perk of the carnivore diet. I literally will eat these massive meals. I'll have like a steak, eggs, cheese, like these huge meals, and you're not bloated after. I can go like work out like 20 minutes later, go for a walk, feel totally fine. So that is something that I noticed right away as well. Number 3 is better sleep. And I will say I've never actually had a hard time going to sleep. That is for sure. Like I can fall asleep anytime, anywhere, not an issue. But when I say better sleep, I mean I'm not waking up throughout the night. That was something that, again, I just thought was normal. Like I would wake up multiple times throughout the night. I didn't feel like I was ever getting like a super deep sleep, and that I was fully rested from the night to the morning. So that is something I have noticed for sure, is I'm not waking up throughout the night now. I'm like perfectly rested the whole time that I'm sleeping, and it's made a really big difference like in the mornings for sure. Leading me into number 4, which is pretty related, it is never feeling tired after I eat and no like post-meal crash. This one's huge for sure. Like I used to, again, think this was all normal. All this stuff you think is normal just because it's happening to you, it's happening to so many people, but once you actually change your lifestyle, you realize that you can be feeling so much better. So I was always so tired after I would eat. I would always need to like, oh, I just need to lay down for like 30 minutes and I'll like, get up and do this, do that. No, it does not exist when you're on the animal-based diet. You eat, you feel totally normal, you move on with your day, you're never crashing, And I just remember like so much of my fatigue was due to what I was eating. Like I can see that now. I didn't see that back then, but I can see that now. I would have a meal and it would just affect me for like hours, like the rest of my day. Like if I had like pizza or like fast food or something like that. And I do not miss that feeling. I do not miss that feeling. Like, especially if you have so much to do throughout the day, eating should be something that should energize you and should help you towards that, not reverse that and make you feel terrible. So yeah, no crashing after you eat with the animal-based diet. Number 5 is no more insane cravings. This, I will say, takes time when you start the diet, especially those first couple weeks of animal-based diet. You turn into a monster. You have cravings that you didn't even think were possible. It's like next level because you're basically depriving your body, you're flushing out your system, you're resetting everything that your body is kind of used to. So your cravings will be like next level. It's totally normal. But once you get past like 1 month, 2 months, this and that, like I've been doing this for 5 months now, you don't feel like you're ruled by those cravings. And yeah, like if I think about pizza for too long, I'm like, okay, that sounds amazing, but you don't have the same desires because you just feel so much different. Another thing too is it makes sense. Like when you are on this diet, you're eating such nutrient rich and dense foods and you're giving your body pretty much everything that it needs. So it's not having cravings really for anything else. A lot of the times people are having cravings because they're not actually like satiated. They're not actually satisfying their body. And they're not actually eating those nutrient rich foods. So the body's always like looking for something else, craving something else. But when you're on this diet, you're pretty much giving yourself everything that you need. So those cravings, if you just give it time, they eventually go away. Leading me into number 6, which is your appetite decreases majorly. You are not going to be as hungry when you start this diet, which is directly related to the last point. You're satiated, you're giving your body everything that you need. You're eating a lot more protein than you normally would, and you're fully satisfying your body. So I only eat twice a day. A lot of days I actually only eat once a day, and it's just at breakfast. And I usually will have 7 eggs, a couple burgers, some dairy, something like that. So they are really big meals, but they're super high protein, super high fat, super low carb, and they keep you full for the entire day. And this is a super common thing that a lot of people on the carnivore diet, animal-based diet will say, is that their appetite suppresses like 70% after getting into the routine and getting used to it. So that's kind of related to the cravings one as well, is you're just not going to be as hungry. You're not going to be thinking about food so much throughout the day. And it actually results in you getting a lot more done because you're not wasting so much time and energy either making food, eating food, or thinking about food. I forget what number I'm on. I think I'm on 7. Okay, so 7 is gonna be mental clarity and no brain fog. This one, again, just directly related to the foods that you're eating. Especially after my meals, I would just feel like, I don't know, like my brain was just like not all there. I always had like this constant brain fog throughout the day. I just was never feeling like it was clear. You know what I mean? So as soon as I started this diet, this was another big one. Within like the first week, I was like, I actually felt like calm. I felt like I could think straight. I didn't feel like I constantly had like that brain fog going on. And that was a really big one for me because that's something I've been struggling with for a really long time. Going right into number 8, which is a decrease in anxiety. So again, I've struggled with anxiety and depression my entire life. I used to be a very, very, very high anxious person. And I still am, like I still struggle with it, but it does not compare to what it was like 5 or 6 months ago before I started this diet. And that just kind of goes back to my last point. Like you have this sense of calmness, you have this mental clarity, you feel like you're able to focus a lot more and your mind isn't racing 24/7. And really, anxiety, depression, anything like that is simply just an inflammation of the brain. And the biggest thing, if you could sum up this diet in like one sentence, it's really a reduction of inflammation throughout your entire body, throughout everything in your body. So a lot of people will see a really big improvement in their anxiety and depression when starting this. Number 9, no more constipation and no more gas. This one again is huge. I used to think all those things were normal. I was like always constipated. I had gas like all the time. And you know what? Once you start like living your life and let's just be real, you don't have to fart. Like when you're in certain places and things like that, you're like, wow, this is so much better. I'm not anxious, I'm not nervous or anything like that. Like that is the worst feeling when like you're out with friends or like you're going somewhere and like you have gas, your stomach's hurting, like you're uncomfortable, you can't even enjoy yourself or be present because you're just in that pain. Not fun, not a good time for anybody. So literally now I don't have any gas, like ever, like no gas, no constipation, regular bowel movements every single day. And that's exactly how it should be. So if that is something that is not normal for you and you are struggling with those things, definitely take a look at your diet because that's 100% where it's coming from. Leading us to number 10, saving the best one for last. No more itchy skin and cystic acne. So I will say, like, obviously you guys can see my skin. It is not perfect. I still have like a lot of red spots, but I'm gonna put some pictures up here so you will see what it looked like before, and I will take this any day over what it used to look like 4 or 5 months ago. So at least now I mainly just have like scars. Like I don't have any like active acne or anything like that. I just have scars, which, you know, I'm planning on getting some laser or microneedling treatment for, so I'm not too worried about it. But I can't believe how much of a difference this has made with my acne, and I can make a whole other separate like 30-minute video just on my struggle with acne over the last few years. It makes me so emotional. It has been terrible. It ruins your quality of life. I spent months just sitting in my room saying no, not going out with friends, not going to events, not doing anything because I was just so embarrassed. I just did not want anyone to see my face, and you can see in those pictures, I'm sure you'll understand why I felt that way. It was so bad. It was so bad. So I'm super grateful for this diet because it has completely changed my struggle with my acne. I've made so much progress with it. And if I do go back and eat a lot of the foods I used to, I will flare up. So I do know now, okay, like at least it was related to my diet. And yeah, does that suck sometimes because I want to have like pizza or like junk food or this or that? For sure. But if you're somebody that struggled with acne, you know that you are willing to do anything. You're willing to do anything to get rid of it and just live a normal life. So if that means I never have to have pizza again, I never have to have fast food again, it is worth it to me. I don't care because it just really affects your quality of life. So those would be my personal top 10 things that I have noticed. I have been on the carnivore diet since June. What is that? June, July, August, September, October. So almost like 6 months now. And I will say I have cheated about like 4 times, and every single time I have cheated, I have regretted it for sure. I've flared up. I've gotten like the worst acne, and I've just felt really sick, and it's not been a good time. So I'm gonna make a separate video on that actually, about just like cheating on the carnivore diet, what exactly happens, how to get back into it, etc., etc. But those are the top 10 things I have noticed. If you guys have any questions at all on an animal-based diet or like what exactly it looks like, drop a comment below and let me know, and I'd be more than happy to answer it. Hopefully this video gave you guys a good idea of some of the benefits and what it looks like to kind of be living through an animal-based diet. I cannot recommend it enough. Really, like, I don't really care what other people are doing. You know what I mean? I've gone through so much with my personal health issues, both mental and physical. And that's really just why I'm making these videos, because I have searched for years on like why everything is happening the way it was happening to me physically and mentally. And this diet is giving me all the answers I was searching for. So that's really just why I'm sharing. Hopefully, you know, this can help some of you guys out there that are struggling and maybe haven't tried really changing your diet yet. So start there. You don't have to go crazy strict right away, but you can start by just even cutting out like fast food and then chips and then rice, and then, you know what I mean? So like slowly take those baby steps to kind of ease into it. But yeah, we need to start taking food a lot more seriously because a lot of our problems are coming from that. Okay, I'm gonna stop rambling now. Thank you guys for watching today. Hopefully you got some value from this, and like I said, there will be a lot more content coming your way on animal-based diet in general, so make sure you're subscribed so you're up to date whenever I drop a new video. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.